what I realized in my life is that no matter what, there's going to be something that comes up that creates a feeling of discomfort. Some sort of uncomfortableness is bound to happen. Some sort of resistance may come up in life. Now that resistance doesn't have to be there, but the situation can come up to then create that resistance. And so these situations that come up in life are bound to happen, some sort of discomfort, some sort of uncomfortableness. Now, what we can learn to do is learn to become comfortable with the uncomfortable, which then leads to a feeling of peace. It really does lead to a feeling of peace when you learn to come to terms with the discomforts that inevitably will arise in life. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you how to become comfortable with the uncomfortable that inevitably may come up in life, and use this to become a stronger human being and experience higher levels of peace. So if you're new to this channel, what I want you to do is to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, because I do post a new video every single day. Also, if you want to work with me one-on-one personally, hit the link that's in the description box of this video to apply for a free consultation. So the first thing I want you to understand when it comes to this discomfort that may arise is that this is hard to hear what I'm about to say. It's not necessarily something that a lot of people can accept or agree with, but the truth is that it's not the challenge that is the problem. It's not the challenge. It's not the situation. It's the resistance that we have to the situation. So it's not that physical health issue, and that's the hardest one to accept. It's not the financial issue. It's not this. And I know that for certain extremely challenging and adverse situations, that's the one where it's harder to accept what I'm saying, because you're thinking, Francis, I can see what you're saying for small challenges, but what if it's something extremely challenging? Does that still apply, where like the mind creates the resistance, the thoughts create the resistance, our thinking is what creates the resistance? It's not the situation, it's our thinking. It's our thinking. It's not the situation, it's your own mind. It's your own resistance. Now, I understand that's hard to accept for the hard situations. And like I said, you might be thinking, Francis, does this apply to the extremely adverse situations? Not only is the answer yes, but it applies especially to the most adverse situations, because the most challenging situations can be the catalyst to make you realize that the whole time all the suffering wasn't that situation. It was actually your own internal resistance to the present moment. So the first thing I want you to understand when it comes to discomfort is it's not the physical discomfort, it's not the meditation, it's not the situation in your life, it's the resistance. And it's hard to see that, but I'm going to share with you how that works in just a moment. It's your own thinking. It's when we place judgments upon certain things in life, that's what creates the resistance. And you can't just take my word for it. You have to actually notice how your own thoughts are creating that resistance and the judgments. Sure, maybe there's a discomfort in your body, but if you're to fully be with that discomfort and to notice your breath, to turn off the mind while you're actually feeling into that emotion or feeling into what's happening, you'll find that the actual feeling is not the problem. The problem is generated by the thoughts. Now, how do we get better at this? How do we get better at surrendering and not thinking so much with the discomforts that arise? Well, the thing that you can do is to practice accepting slight discomfort in your life, accepting small challenges, and noticing that actually it's not necessarily that slight discomfort, like a cold shower, for example, or even meditation, which is one that I do every single day. It's not like what is meditation? Yes, it's very peaceful, but it's not necessarily completely comfortable. Now, meditation can be comfortable if you put yourself in the right position. At the same time though, it's actually a little bit uncomfortable. It's a little bit awkward. It's a little bit of like a weird feeling to meditate, especially if you've never done it before. It's a little bit uncomfortable. But if you can learn to be in that slight discomfort, because this is the thing, you can practice being okay with the uncomfort before some ridiculous situation happens in your life. You don't have to wait for some physical issue to arise in your life before you learn how to accept it. You can train that acceptance muscle within you to actually release resistance. Now, this is what a lot of people don't do, and then so when they have some situation that happens, they're in total resistance, they can't learn to surrender. Now, if you learn to do something like a meditation, for example, which is what I do every single day and have been doing that for the last 4 to 5 years, it's like you can train yourself to accept slight discomforts. So it's like I'm meditating for 15 minutes, it starts to become slightly uncomfortable. Not that it's horribly uncomfortable, you want to know your limit, but it's like it's uncomfortable to the point where you want to run away from that discomfort. Part of meditation is understanding that the mind and body will do everything that it can to just not sit there. Like all you're really doing is you're sitting down, you're noticing your breath. I use binaural beats when I meditate to help me go deeper. You're just noticing your breath, you don't control your breath, and you just sit there. Simple, right? Simple. But there's so much more to meditation than that I can't even go into in this video. I'll have to create a new video for that, and I'm working on a course for that. And it's just a very deep topic, because what happens is that yes, it's simple, but it's not easy because the mind wants to run away from the discomfort. Now, part of becoming comfortable with the uncomfortable in life, for me personally, is about meditation and realizing that my own, like the little discomfort in my leg when I'm meditating is not the issue. It's me thinking about how uncomfortable it is, and like me judging that my leg is numb, for example, if I'm meditating for like 30 minutes, that's the problem. The problem is your own mind labeling the fact that your leg is going numb. And when you can actually see that in meditation, that's when you'll understand what I'm saying. Because this is hard to accept, not even in meditation. Maybe something happens in your life where you're going through some extreme adversity, you become so present to the moment that your mind releases resistance and it clicks. And you see all this time why all that resistance was happening, because your mind was unwilling to let go and to be in the discomfort and the adversity. And the third thing I want to share with you in regards to this topic of how to become comfortable with the uncomfortable is it's the mind that creates resistance. Before I go to the third thing, actually, the mind creates resistance, right? What turns off the mind? One way to do it, just one way, is your breath. Whatever you can do to not think as much will help you to be comfortable with the uncomfortable. Not that you're pushing away your thoughts, but you're allowing the thoughts to be there. You can even accept those thoughts, the uncomfortable thoughts, and do whatever you can to not think about what you're feeling, because the resistance comes from the thoughts. It's your thinking. That's why meditation is so powerful. But I want to share with you the third thing in this video that's going to help to bring all this together is this. What I'm sharing with you right now is one of the most counterintuitive things that you will ever learn in your entire life. What I'm telling you does not really come from intuition, so to speak. It does if you develop that, but it's like before you learn this truth, your mind and body will do everything in its power. Your ego will do everything in its power to not observe that discomfort. It wants to run away. It wants to not be in the discomfort. But if you were to counterintuitively sit with that adversity, fully be in the challenge, you will find peace. It's impossible not to at some point. But here's the thing though, when I say peace, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to feel good in your body. Like if I'm meditating, for example, and I'm resisting my leg going numb, I'm resisting, like I want to adjust my body position, for example. This is obviously a more hardcore way to do it, but this is what I do in meditation. It's like you have this sort of urge to feed into what the ego wants, to like run away from what we feel. But then if you were to counterintuitively be with it, eventually what you'll find, by the way, that's a more extreme example, is in meditation, but the best, you do it in daily life too. What you'll realize eventually is that the mind was creating the resistance, and how counterintuitive the whole process really was. It's like the whole time your mind was running away from feeling into that thing, from feeling into that situation. You finally feel into it 100%. And it's not like that feeling necessarily goes away at first, but something internally shifts within you. So it's not like when I'm meditating that physical discomfort goes away when I accept. No, it's still there. That situation may still be there. Maybe that issue you have in your life may still be there. Maybe the actual discomfort may still be there. But what's going to shift is not the physical discomfort, but the internal resistance that your own mind has to that discomfort. That's what will shift. And the moment that shift is when you find the peace. The peace is not necessarily the discomfort changing, it's you accepting 100% that the discomfort is there. Now, does that usually lead to the discomfort fixing itself because you're in a state of non-resistance? Absolutely, but that won't happen right away, and you don't want to cling on to that, because the clinging on to you feeling good and not accepting the discomfort is what is stopping you from feeling good after, when you first have to accept. Do you see how counterintuitive that is? It's completely backwards to what your own mind thinks and what the ego thinks. You think that by feeling good, by chasing good feelings, you're going to feel good. But if you learn to accept discomforts, you're going to feel way better after, but it will require of you to be bold and to be courageous and to accept fully a feeling of discomfort. That's why meditation is so powerful. That's why cold showers work too. That's why slight discomforts in life help you grow. Discomfort helps you grow. Change happens in discomfort. But the key is not necessarily to fight the discomfort, but it's like, yes, like meditation is actually a way to intentionally kind of put yourself in discomfort. Cold showers are the same way. And that sounds intense, and that sounds like, why would you do that? But the key is not to fight it. The key is to accept it. That's the growth. If you're going to do something like cold shower and or meditation, but you're resisting the whole way through, that's not what teaches you to grow. It's not just like, yeah, I've just pushed myself into uncomfort and just resist the whole way. Like, people have this thing in their minds where they think that resisting discomfort is like makes you more manly or something. Not really. If you want to be more of a, like, if I'm going to use the word man, so to speak, if you want to be the best man or woman you can be, don't resist discomfort, accept it. You want to be the greatest version of yourself, stop running away from discomfort, but invite it into your life at the level that you're able to handle and surrender into it. So by the time something happens in life that is inevitably going to arise anyway, you would have already trained sort of your ability to surrender and to accept and to allow, to the point where a lot of things in life won't faze you that other people are fazed by. Something happens in life, you're going to have that skill. It's a serious and very valuable skill to learn how to be, in the discomfort. That will change your life more than anything. This completely shifted my life. What I'm sharing with you in this video, this is everything I learned from meditation and also my mentors and everything else. This changed my life. And if you accept this, your life will shift. If you learn to stop resisting discomforts and adversities and learn to actually invite them into your life at a pace that you're able to handle, not too much, and surrender into them by releasing resistance from the mind and moving deeper into the present moment, that will change your life, allow you to find peace and overcome so many things in life that you otherwise would not have been able to overcome had your mind been in resistance. Okay, so that's all I have for this video. Once again, if you want to work with me one-on-one, hit the link that's in the description box of this video to apply for a free consultation. As always, have yourself a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.